Mic check. What's up? What's up? It's your boy Junior into his house. All right. Dang, I'm just out here. Nothing but a phone. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about it like all next sermon series, but I really just love singing songs about Jesus. Because here's the thing, over and over and over again with a song like King of My Heart, where you're saying the same thing over and over again, which a lot of people are like, why do we do that? Write more words. It's like, yo, sometimes all you need is you are good. Because like that's the part that you were missing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, we could explain all the things that makes God good. This is not my sermon, but I promise I'm not. I promise I got it. I'm gonna keep it short. But here's the thing. So often we just miss the fact that God is who he says he is. So because we miss that fact, then everything else just turns to a poop party or a poop television show, but you know what I'm saying, right? It just turns to a poop show, and then we're like, God, this is God's fault. But it's like, yo, if you are singing songs and reminding yourself that he is the only king forever, like on the throne, literally, that whole bridge, glorious, victorious, sovereign over all, infinite, magnificent. If you are saying these things about the Father all the time, your perspective changes. And we take the fundamental piece of our relationship with the Father, throw it in the trash, and then we're like, God is doing this to me. It's such a bad time. I'm just like, yo, these songs be hitting. The young people would say slap, right? Yeah. They be slapping, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. These songs are good. These songs are... Okay, is that slap is old now? Eesh. What are we saying now? Okay, cool. All right, if he's still saying it, then I can still say slap. Cool. Maybe I shouldn't say it at all. Okay. Oh, no ing. It's not an action. It's an adjective only. Got it. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Audio's cool. Then that's fine. All right. It is what it is at this point. For those of you watching on YouTube, yeah, we glitchy today because our computer battery is dying. It's a whole thing. But as long as the audio is good, you can hear what you need to hear. So there's that. Okay, let's get to these announcements so we get this party started and get this party ended. Free books over there. New year, new me. Read a book, change your life. Read a book, don't change your life. Either way, read a book. I guarantee you something's gonna happen. Either think what you think, like you think differently, maybe something is confirmed, you live it out better. Either way, read a book, don't bring it back. Give it to somebody else. Highlight it, I don't know. Get a tattoo, whatever you want to do. Free books. So these are the ways to give here at Oasis. One is the Church Center app. Boom, there it is. Church Center app, Venmo, and then the big brown box in the front for those who have cash or checks on hand. Thank you to all of you who give. We greatly appreciate it. Because of you, we have heat, and it's nice in here. It is not nice outside, but it is nice in here. And that is because of those of you who pay your tithes. Giving statements are coming soon. For all of those who gave last year, we will email those to you towards the end of the month. So we're already at the halfway point, which is wild to say, because yesterday was New Year's Day. So giving statements are coming soon for all of those who gave last year. Again, thank you very much. So look for those in the coming weeks. Lastly, if you are not receiving any text messages from Oasis, please text T to 575-222-8985, and we'll get you hooked up. Any questions on any of those things before I jump into this sermon? All right. Also, after last week, I was like, dang, I missed preaching, man. Oh, I missed it. Yeesh. So I'm very excited today because there is no 11 o'clock football game. So I don't have anything to do till 2 o'clock. So buckle up, everybody. I'm unleashed. Some would say unhinged. I don't know. Either way, here we are. Week 2, church vision. Last week we covered our why statement. This week we are covering our mission. And in the whole of who we are as Oasis, this is what it looks like. Yes, this is what it looks like. Our why statement, our mission, our values. Next week we will cover our values, the things that we hold near and dear as a church. And then our plan of action, how we, what's the actual steps of getting these things done. So, again, Matthew 28, 18 through 20. Last week, we talked about Jesus saying to the disciples before he leaves earth, go into all the world, baptizing, or go into the world, make disciples, baptizing them in my name. He says a couple other things, but that's the big thing. Go, make disciples, baptize them in my name. So the cool thing about this is Jesus literally hands down a commandment to everybody who believes in him. So if you claim to be a Christian, this is your job. This is everybody's commandment. Every Christian, every church is to go and make disciples and baptize them. In short. So then when it comes to us, Oasis, this is just how we, why we operate the way we do within the commandment that Jesus gave. That makes sense? So Oasis exists to move away from traditional expectations so that anyone can meet Jesus through tangible means. And we unpacked all of this last week. And so where this is our why statement, our mission statement is how we do the why. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, you are here with me. If that's the case, I'll just go home if nobody's getting it. But the why statement is why we are who we are, and the mission statement is how we get the why done. So, what is our mission statement? Our mission statement is to love and lead others into an ever-flourishing relationship with Jesus Christ. That is what we are doing here. We are on mission to love people. We are on mission to lead people into a relationship with Jesus Christ. And not just a relationship, but an ever-flourishing, something that is continually growing. Gosh, this is so tight. Also, crazy part about the why statement, when we sat down, it was 14 of us, group of people, And the craziest part about this is I gave no input to the why statement. So I did not give any like, hey, it should sound like this, or it should be like this, or let's word it this way. This all came from the group of people who attend Oasis. What's crazier than that is the mission statement was done well before the why statement was done, like 6 years, 5 years before. And the mission statement never came up in the why statement discussion. But I love that both of them have a very clear arrow pointing to Jesus. That's so tight. So literally from the body of Oasis comes two very clear lines that say we want Jesus at the end of the day. No matter what, this is what we're aiming towards, which is so tight to me. I love that. So in this loving and leading others, today we are going to focus on the words love and lead, the action words of the sentence. Because again, all of us are the body of Oasis. So it's not just Rafer who is loving and leading. It is all of us who are loving and leading each other into an ever flourishing relationship with Jesus Christ. That makes sense? Don't leave me here, guys, because then that means y'all don't think you have a part in this, and you just think it's your boy up here doing all the loving and leading, which we'll unpack leading, because I know a lot of people may be like, ooh, me, lead who? I got you. We're going to cover it, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Okay, number one, love. The definition of love, and we looked at it, when was that? Last year at some point, maybe 2 years ago, 22. But we looked at God is love, and like we had an entire just like breakdown of love. Overall, goodwill toward others, to be well-meaning and kind. The word is benevolence, but I was like, let's actually break benevolence down. But it is to be well-meaning and kind. This definition wraps up the word love. So where I think we have a hard time in Christian circles loving like Christ, like where Jesus says, love each other like I have loved you, we have a hard time because we see love as mostly romantic. I don't know where I saw it, but it was on Instagram for sure. And they were like, we just do a bad job in America of teaching friendship. We just don't do friendship well. What we do in the church, we teach a lot of leadership and everybody else, but not friendship. Go ahead, Joel.
I know, like in other languages, they have multiple like words for love. Like
Yeah.
love towards a person, versus love towards food.
Yeah.
And in America, we just have love. And
It's just love.
I love this Pop-Tart, and I love my husband.
Yeesh. And that is like I mean, for me, when I say it, I'm like, yes. It's like Jenny, the Jets. Okay, Jesus, Jenny, the Jets, my kids, coffee, Pop-Tarts. I mean, here's the thing. The Jets and my kids both treat me exactly the same. So, like literally, Brooklyn came running around and she was like all excited, and I started pointing at her and she was like, and walked away. And I was like, dang, heartbreak again, just like the Jets. Anyway, love, goodwill toward others, well-meaning and kind. All of that is within reach when we show up here or we see each other outside of here. That makes sense? Pretty easy stuff. So we're going to look at a bunch of scriptures that have this, that encapsulate what love is in action. Here we go. Jesus at the Last Supper says, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." John, Jesus again, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends," which is really tight because then the next thing he says is, "You are my friends." It's like, dang, Jesus is going to lay down his life for us. That's crazy. Romans 12:9, "Let love be genuine, abhor what is evil, hold fast to what is good." And that's where it should trigger back in your brain, you are good. Hold on to what is good. Who is good? The Father. Yeesh. "Let all that you do be done in love." 1 Corinthians 16:14. Further, and I didn't put it in here because I didn't want to read all of it, but 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter we call it. Love is patient, love is kind, yada, yada, yada. Love does all these things, right? We take that out of context and we use it in, again, romantic ceremonies. They're going to get married, so make sure you love each other, right? But that is actually in the middle of an entire message about the body of Christ and spiritual gifts. 12 is talking about, 1 Corinthians chapter 12 is talking about how the body has, and we talked about it last week, many parts, but it's one body. So therefore, each part has a different gift. And then he says in 13, "But your gift is trash if you don't have love." And then in 14, he says, "Now let's talk about those different gifts that people may have." That makes sense? So when we talk about love, again, none of it matters if you are not well-meaning and kind. If you're going to have a conversation about, I don't know, you got some criticism, to bring that in love legitimately, to be well-meaning and kind. That is a practice that we have to have. Galatians chapter 5, verse 6, "For in Christ Jesus, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision counts for anything, but only faith working through love. Goodwill toward others, well-meaning and kind." 1 Peter 4:8, "Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins." Now, again, in the Christian church, that really doesn't make sense because we're like, how does love cover people doing bad things? But that's because we only equate sin to behavior and not to a lack of love. The one thing that Jesus wants us to do, the one thing that the Father is looking for is love. And so if I am operating outside of love, that is now sin. So when he says that love covers a multitude of sins, that's because love is the command. And so if I am well-meaning and kind, if I have goodwill toward you, guess what? You can now come back into relationship with the body and further with the Father. That's real good. That's real good. I don't know if y'all missed that or not, but that was really good. Goodwill towards each other is the thing that covers my lack of goodwill toward others. Oh, I just don't trust people, so. Well, the only way you get back to trust people is people trusting you. Right? You have to see it and feel it to give that. Well, I'm just not me and people. Trusting yourself, because that is part of the whole thing. Love God, love yourself, love others. That's tight. Goodwill toward others, to be well-meaning and kind. This is how we treat each other at Oasis. So when we say love, it is not some superficial, theorized, like, oh, we love each other. No, it's just simple goodwill. Like, I just want good for you. I want you to have the easiest time you can getting to Jesus. Through this whole transition process, as I am like trying to get things off my plate and hand them here and there, whatever, I am trying to make it as easy as possible for the people coming on to do the things. Because goodwill says, hey, let me make the entry point so low that anybody can do it. To be well-meaning and kind is when it doesn't happen, that I can still have a conversation, we can correct all the things, and we can still walk hand in hand. That's what it means. And for so long in churches, we've gotten the opposite of that. You make a mistake, it's off with your head, and now you can never serve again in this church, period, dot. But if I am actually operating in love, what's up, AJ? Stay over there. If I am actually operating with goodwill toward others, that changes how, one, I approach people, and that changes how I view myself within this collective body. That makes sense? So if I know that goodwill is coming towards me, kindness, and regardless if it's said wrong or not, I know that you are well-meaning in that. I don't have to live in offense. That's a whole thing. I'm not going to preach that, but that's literally a whole thing. So that is love. Next, to lead. Now again, when you see love and lead, oh dang, I got to partake in that. It is not some big, you need to go to school and get a degree so that you can be a preacher or you could be a leader. No. Simply to lead is to lead or bring to anyone. I'm just here to bring people to Jesus. That's it. We'll connect the dots in a little bit, but I want to back up what I am saying about this word lead with more scripture. This is Jesus right before the Last Supper. Matthew 21:2, saying to them, go into the village in front of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. Very simple concept here. They brought the donkey and the colt and put them on their cloak and put on them their cloaks, and he sat on them. So simple. Luke 4:40. Now when the sun was setting, all those who had any who were sick with various diseases brought them to him, to Jesus. And he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. Oh, I love this. Notice, as we read these, notice that the people are brought to Jesus and Jesus does the crazy part. Please keep your eyes on that. Friends, bad guys, good guys, bring something to Jesus. Jesus does the crazy part. Please see that. As he drew near to Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. And hearing a crowd going by, he inquired what this meant. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. And he cried out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And those who were in front rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. This is so good. And when he came near, Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" He said, "Lord, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Recover your sight. Your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him, glorifying God, and all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. That's wild. Jesus said, "Bring him to me." So they brought him to Jesus. John 1:40 and 42. One of the two who heard John speak and followed Jesus was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which means Christ. And Andrew brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon, the son of John. You shall be called Cephas," which means Peter. John 8:3 and 4. The scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and placing her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman has been caught in the act of adultery." And we know how that story goes. Jesus says, first one he who is without sin, cast the first stone, since we should stone her. And then everybody else walks away, and then Jesus is like, "Where'd they go?" Again, they brought her to Jesus, even on some accusatory stuff, and Jesus still did a crazy thing. That's wild. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had formerly been blind. So this guy was healed by Jesus, and then the Pharisees were mad because Jesus healed him on the Sabbath, because you shouldn't do anything, can't heal nobody. So then they're like, "Hey, man, what happened?" He's like, "Jesus healed me. I just did what he said." And they're like, "That is not okay. That is not okay." It's the whole thing. Jesus says in John 10:16, "And I have other sheep that are not of this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd." So this word lead is to lead or bring to anyone. It is just our job to just bring people along on a path I am already walking. That's it. The leading is not that I bring them to Jesus and I convert them, and I heal them, and I do something crazy. No, Jesus does the crazy stuff. We just got to bring people. Think of it like this. If you were going to Lubbock and you tell your friend on Thursday, "Yes, I'm going to Lubbock on Saturday," and they need something from Lubbock, what are they going to say? "Can you just bring it back for me?" Right? And what will we say? "Yeah, no problem, because where is it going to sit? In my trunk." They didn't ask me to get the thing and then bring it back and set it up for them in their house. "Hey, I got this thing from Target. Can you just pick it up?" And they send you the link. All you got to do is pull up to the spot now, click the link. You don't have to get out your car. And most cars now, you don't even have to go out to open the trunk. You can sit in your car listening to your audiobook, hit the button, boom, trunk opens. And you bring it back. And then the person, this is the crazy part, the person you are bringing it to, what are they going to do? Meet you at the car and take it out of your car. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate that." It was no effort on my side. I was already going to Lubbock. All I had to do was stop at Target. I didn't have to get out of my car. My heat was on. I was listening to what I wanted to listen to. And then I just brought it back because I was coming home anyway. So when we say to lead, you're just bringing someone along in the path you are already walking. It's literally that simple. So when we say our mission is to love and to lead others into an ever-flourishing relationship with Jesus Christ, it is our goodwill, our well-meaning words and actions, our kindness that actually invites them to come along with us. And as I point to Jesus and I walk to Jesus, I can just bring them along with me. Now, again, when we say others, this others are not necessarily people who don't attend Oasis. I'm just talking about us. So every conversation that I have with Eileen should come from a place of goodwill. I should be well-meaning in my word choice. I should be kind. And guess what? If I can't do that, I need to at least show up and be loved. So and I've had plenty of Sundays, I told y'all that last week. I've had plenty of Sundays where my kids are being kids, but I didn't sleep well enough. So now it's their fault that I'm mad and I can't get to Jesus, right? And literally, I have to get love so that I can give love to lead other people to love. This isn't a supernatural, like I gotta come up with something crazy. It's not. Again, last week we talked about the reason we exist is for any and everybody to get to Jesus. So if I am showing up with the thought process of today, come hell or high water, I am going to get to Jesus. Well, now I am looking to one, love and lead, and two, I am looking to be loved and be led. That makes sense? So again, why we do what we do, why we are who we are is one part of it. But legitimately showing up on mission. Today, I'm going to do one of two things, and I may do them both. I will love and lead, or I will be loved and I will be led. Either way, I am either giving from the ever-flourishing relationship with Jesus, or I am getting back into the ever-flourishing relationship with Jesus. That makes sense? This is our mission. So again, our why statement. Oasis exists to move away from traditional expectations so that anyone can meet Jesus through tangible means. And the tangible means are us. We are the tangible means. Yes, the music can be great. Yes, the music before and after service can be great. Yes, we could dress how we want. Yes, I could show up late. I could show up on time. Yeah, whatever it may be. Yes, those things are cool. I just read this week where a guy was saying he's a recovering alcoholic, and he said, I stopped going to church because of the way people would look at me when I walked in. And the crazy part was, he said he felt more accepted at an AA meeting than he did at church. And I was like, yo, we are literally talking about this right now all month at Oasis. He was like, if Christians could just be like Jesus, the game would change. And then somebody responded and was like, yeah, I think we talk too much about, we're not worth anything and Jesus is the greatest. So like, gives us this skewed view of ourselves. And I was like, I don't. That's not what Jesus is saying. Yes, without him, we are trash. But if I'm with him, then my life should actually look like I'm with him. Mm-hmm. Boom, 2 for 2, baby. Just as I am. I see you, Charles.
Jesus said,
Mm-hmm.
come just as you are.
Boom.
You don't have to dress up with a $1 million suit.
Mm-hmm.
I come just as I am.
As you should. Those jeans are fresh, by the way.
Yeah. And I don't own like a $1 million suit or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I come just as I am.
As you should.
Yeah. Jesus told everybody, you come just as you are.
Yes.
And I tell people, don't put on airs.
Mm-hmm.
Put on just as you are.
Just as you are. 100%. We'll talk about that next week. Authenticity, one of our values. Pretty pumped about that. But this is what we are doing. How we implement our why statement. Love and lead. Love and lead. Love and lead. And if I do not feel like I am in a place to love and lead, then I need to be loved and led. And it is a very simple process to walk through. If I'm walking in and I'm stressed out and I feel like I'm carrying too much, guess what? I just need to show up and be loved and be led. Because if we do anything here at Oasis, we're going to point you to Jesus. That's what we're going to do. And so on the flip side of it, if I show up and I'm like, yo, me and Jesus had a really good week this week. Dang. Well, let me find somebody to love and lead then.
Yeah.
Let me show up and just see how you are. We joked about it last week. Fathom is going to ask you, where have you been? But that is a well-meaning and kind question. Her goodwill wants to legitimately know, where have you been? I miss you. Let me love and lead you back to Jesus. We have such a split view where it's like, if I have a couple outside of Jesus days that I am so far apart from him, and Riss will tell you, it's literally just the smallest of mindset change. It's the smallest of mindset change. I just need to be loved. I need to be led back to him. This is a process I can work with myself. This is a process that I can get when I show up here. But this is who we are. This is what we are doing. That makes sense? We are here to love and lead others. The others is everybody that's not me. Everybody who is not yourself is included in others. Love and lead. It is such a simple concept. Goodwill, well-meaning thoughts and actions, kindness. And if I can't be kind, then I need to receive kindness. If I cannot give something, then that is the first thing I need to come back to, connection to the Father. So that's our mission statement, to love and lead others into an ever-flourishing relationship with Jesus Christ. That is what we are doing here at Oasis every week. Anybody have anything? Go ahead.
It's just hitting me so much that this can be how we live our lives as well, which is the point.
Yes.
It's hitting me so hard, and it's just reaffirming what you said of we are Oasis.
Yes.
And, the way this happens is us applying this to our actual lives outside of here.
Yes.
That sometimes has to do with each other, sometimes has to do with really difficult family,
Yeah.
sometimes has to do with hard coworkers, whatever that
Right.
like leads you outside of communion with Jesus. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is how we live life.
Yeah.
And then when we are doing that individually, that's how we will do that as a church.
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And then it's just like
100%. To wrap up what she said, when we do this in our everyday lives, we can also do that collectively as a church. That's really good. All right, we're going to go into the holy place, spend some time with Jesus, and yeah, we'll be ready to go. Let's do it.